Vishwanath, you want to just take our viewers through the latest developments? What are we making of this? Comes as a surprise? Doesn't come as a surprise? And what are you watching out for in that con call when they address the analysts at 8:30?
Right, Samina. So big impact in terms of where the RBI is coming from and what exactly happens to IIFL Finance. Now we've got a few sort of special graphics made for this exact chat. Essentially, last evening the RBI, close to about 5:30 or so, came out with a statement on its website saying that it is asking IIFL Finance to cease and desist from doing any fresh gold loan lending or disbursements or sanctions with immediate effect. What the RBI has also said is that you cannot sell or securitize any of the loans that are there on your book at this point in time. You can, however, service the existing loans. So that means that you can continue to recover that money in case the borrower defaults. You can also auction those loans. So that servicing part continues. Gold loans at this point in time is about a third of IIFL Finance's total loan books, about 77,000 odd crores. So gold loans about 25 odd thousand crore. It's a high yield portfolio. Typically, gold loans are a high yield book. So that's about 19%. You see Q3 dispersals close to 9,000 crore. So annually, they're lending about 36,000 crore. And you've got small value loans. Now, this is interesting because small value loans, basically loans under 50,000 rupees, that's at about 60% of the book. Having said that, their outstanding average ticket size is 78,000 rupees. That means that basically, of the remaining 40%, you're essentially lending higher ticket size gold loans, and that's a problem. And we'll come to that later. What the RBI found essentially are material supervisory issues. There were issues with the way the gold was being assayed, the purity of that gold was being calculated, or the net weight of that gold that the customers were pledging, that being calculated. There were deviations in the way that was being done. There was also breaches in the way loan-to-value ratio is calculated at IIFL Finance, and that's a problem as far as any lending business is concerned. What the RBI has called for is a special audit. What the RBI wants to do is appoint an auditor, check the portfolio clearly, thoroughly, and then whatever comes out of that audit, the company needs to address those issues. The company also needs to address issues that the RBI has pointed out in its own inspection. Remember, this inspection is for FY23, March 2023. So since then, of course, there have been more issues that would have come up later. As far as IIFL Finance is concerned, they issued a clarification last evening. They said that they will work on rectification. I mean, a company cannot say anything else. But at the end of the day, you've got what the company is saying is that they want to continue with the gold loan business, so they will be aggressive. Why is this happening? I mean, it's a business that's about 33%. That's a significant chunk of the portfolio. The other part of this is that if you take gold loans out of the business, out of the total lending business, your total lending business was growing about 34-35% year on year. If you take gold loans out, that immediately drops to 23%. And that's a sharp deceleration as far as gold, or as far as the overall business for IIFL Finance is concerned. It's a fast-growing book. It also has a sticky customer base, typically. They are, of course, one of the two largest gold loan companies that are there in India, Muthoot Finance being the other. The interesting part is that what Samina mentioned about, or actually Tamanna mentioned about who else is impacted by it.
I'm going to come to you on that.
Yeah.
Is this a problem for other players in the gold loan space?
Definitely.
Vishy, is this a problem for, like a DCB bank says, I have a lending arrangement. Do we know how many have? And what's the sort of quote-unquote contagion effect?
The fact is that everybody who's anybody is part of this business. So they have a co-lending arrangement on gold loans as well as home loans. And you've got all your big guns there: SBI, ICICI Bank, Canara, Punjab National Bank, South Indian Bank, Union Bank of India. All of these lenders work with IIFL for gold loans and home loans. So it depends on how much gold loan business they garner from IIFL Finance. But at the end of the day, they're all going to get impacted if this company is not able to give out any fresh loans. You mentioned the 8:30 call and what we need to watch out for. That's exactly what we'll watch out for. How much of a co-lending arrangement impact will there be? What is the impact on the overall business? Is growth going to slow down significantly? And if growth slows down significantly, what exactly happens to IIFL Finance in terms of managing its NPA ratio? Now, on the gold loan business, gross NPA is about 0.8%. That's a very low business. Of course, gold loans, essentially because you have a security, you can auction it. But we need to see what exactly happens there, because there were problems with the way they were auctioning the loans that the RBI has pointed
But
out.
Rishi, this is, from the sound of it, a temporary ban, you'd imagine, right? They can go back, fix the house, and then, go back to business as usual, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, temporary is as temporary as one believes it to be, but because, for example, with HDFC Bank or MasterCard,
It took an extended period
took
of
years.
time. Yeah.
Paytm Payments Bank, March 2022, RBI just stopped them from taking on fresh customers.
Yeah, but just the number, Jeffrey says 9-month ban, even if they fix it. 9
Yeah,
months
there's
is a
massive
25% EPS impact.
EPS impact.
Yeah, that's quite significant depending on the timeline and how fast they're able to scale up the other businesses. That matters.